Well, good. All right. Good evening, everybody. Tonight is Wednesday, February 11th. It's the monthly meeting of the School Building Committee. The first item on the agenda is I'd like to welcome a new member. Sarah Rosenthal had been elected to the board. We're looking forwards to having her input and keeping us on the straight and narrow going forwards. I'd like to welcome Sarah. And next item on the agenda would be update to the DD programming changes, and I assume that'd be Matt.
Yeah, so we had the programming meetings last Wednesday and Thursday. So we're going through, compiling all our notes from that. We got a whole bunch of markups from the team, which we're working on. So we'll issue, our meeting notes and all that. But a brief kind of summary, some minor reworking in the middle school office to give the AP's office an AP office down there as well, since they flex between both spaces. Staying in the middle school, kind of reworking the counseling suite a little bit. They need some additional space for a larger group meeting. So kind of reworking our layout in there a little bit to give them some more space. Reworking the IT office. Again, they kind of lost a little bit of room based on existing additions verification we were out there. So kind of reworking the room a little bit, getting rid of some of the countertops we had shown, giving them some more desks, and basically just kind of reworking the space we had and giving them a little bit more space, which doesn't seem like too big of an issue because we have a big storage room next to them. We can just shift things around. The alternate PE spaces we had broken into two separate rooms. We got the request to turn that into one larger space, so we're basically just removing the wall in the middle. The equipment will be around the outside of the perimeter, which leaves the open space in the middle for dance and whatever other, OTPT and other events that'll be in that space and user groups. Kind of just working my way up through the plans. What else do we have here? We talked about the high school office and kind of walked through what the secretaries need in there. So we just got to make sure we are accommodating all the storage that they currently have in there and make sure we make that space kind of work for them with the new transaction window and desk that's being installed. Some minor flipping things around in the health office. Again, just kind of flipping some offices around, just trying to hone in on design and make it kind of a little bit more, flexible and work better for kind of what they requested.
Matt,
Moving up
just
to
as
the
a question, is there a way to
Yep.
share your screen, or are the changes so minor we wouldn't even notice them, even if you showed us?
We don't have the changes done yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at all the notes that we took from the
Yeah.
meeting.
No,
So
that's all good.
we're working on them now. So
And
once we get those,
I assume that any of the stuff that you're talking about is, if we looked at the plans, you probably wouldn't even notice
yeah, it's most of it's pretty minor.
right.
Another thing that we talked about was they didn't like the location for the athletics trainer because now they're kind of pinned up on the second floor, kind of isolated with no direct access to the fields. So we're kind of flipping them to be down on the lower level instead of up on the second floor. The high school counseling suite, we're kind of reworking that to give them a larger conference room, kind of shrinking the offices down a little bit, giving them a larger conference room space for about 10 people is the goal to get in there. And then Steam was another room where we kind of talked through a little bit more, kind of giving them a separate, putting in a wall within that space to give them a separation between where the 3D printers are at. And I don't know, those are kind of the big things. Again, we're working through everything. I think it was a very productive meeting with everybody, and we're just continuing to hone in on the plans and get it ready for the next submission.
Matt, at this point, nothing is a deal breaker. It's not a cost other than your plans, correct?
I don't think so. It's really just shifting things around at this point for the most part.
Yep.
If anything else does come up for costs, we'll discuss it with Vertex and then you guys as well.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Matt and the group for all those meetings. The people were very excited, and
Good.
it's starting to get real.
Mhm.
It makes people feel heard as well, like they feel like
Yeah,
they're involved in the process, which is good. So thank you everybody for Bob and Ann and Pat for jumping on with us.
When we do these things, to follow up on Diane's point, I assume you're going to just tell us when there's cost involved
Yeah,
Yep.
or identify it specifically.
Yeah, for the most part, it's just moving walls around at this point for most of it. And again, we'll get costs again once we get the next estimate. That's when the cost, because we can't really give you a cost without the estimator. So
Okay, so at this point, this is what we're going to go with, assuming that it's cost neutral.
correct. Yep.
Thank you.
And then you have a permitting progress update. So that was the next thing on the agenda. Was there any movement on that, or is that that would be Vertex, I'd assume?
Yeah.
I was thinking that Matt was going to give us an update on what you guys have done.
Yeah, nothing really so far. For the most part, like the NOI and site plan review typically take place once the DD set is done. So, they said that was fine. And again, I know we're going to be trying to set up a meeting between Civil and the DPW soon because they want to have a discussion kind of prior to the set going out. But really, the original kind of schedule that Vertex had kind of put together is kind of what we're still following. I know that Niche said, and I haven't heard back from them yet, they were talking about trying to go out and do the wetland flagging at some point soon, probably with the snow that hasn't happened yet. But I think once the snow clears up, that's one thing that they're looking at doing. But otherwise, nothing really to update too much on permitting at this point.
All right, and I know that the DPW was agreed to go ahead and dig the test pits if they can get through the
Correct.
frost.
Yep.
So that'll be
Correct.
the next step
That's
on
next Thursday and Friday, I think, is
Correct.
contract updates. I'm just reading off, by the way, the our agenda. So, were there any contract updates that we need to know about?
One item that I wanted to confirm is that the committee has decided not to pursue the IDS proposal at this time.
And the IDS was the separate consultant that would come in
Correct.
and evaluate just for the rest of the group, evaluate the systems. John and I talked about it, and and John, you can pipe in after I talk. I mean, we're having Vertex go ahead, and they're going to be having their engineer design the system. We have the commissioning agent who will also weigh in on that. And so the only real benefit we would get from that would be basically a peer review from IDS on the system, and it's actually systems because according to my recollection, it was be the HVAC and the electrical. And it was I think like 16,000 for just that portion of it. We didn't necessarily, and we could do it piecemeal, so we could go ahead and either spend the 16,000 now, which would get them in at the ground level, and this is for the committee. That would get them at the beginning. They would weigh in, they would be like a peer review. And then we could or could not hire them for the next phase, which would be oversight of the project. And then at the end, they come in and they do basically, hey, how is your system working? So it was John and I's opinion that, we weren't necessarily sure that since we've got, basically two groups looking at it right now, that we would need that. But I do look for your guys' thoughts on that also. Jim, because I'm looking at you because you're right in front of me. What is your thought on that?
When they presented, I didn't see a big value add, to tell you the truth. I think that there was a nice presentation, but I couldn't see exactly what we were going to get for our money.
Okay. Diane?
I agree totally.
All right. And Sarah, we're going to get your viewpoint here.
I have no comment at this time.
There you go. That's great. That's what we want to hear. And Al, do you have a thought on that too? Because you were a part of that discussion.
Yeah, I don't see a value add before or during construction. I think that it might be something that the town wants to look at after the school is up and running. But you have an awful lot of folks, very capable folks, of taking a look at what you have for mechanical systems at this point.
And that was kind of my take on it too. So, Yeah, so Lorraine, yes, thank you on that, but we're gonna respectfully decline on that.
No problem. I mean, your building's not all electric. It's not net
Right.
zero ready. So I think that's going to be just fine. You're right. You do have enough people who are going to take care of that. Keep an eye on it for you. I did want to report that the MSBA has assigned Salis O'Brien as the commissioning agent for this project. It's I think a former VHB engineering firm. I think Silas O'Brien has taken them over. I just wanted to give you that little update.
Right, and if you could let the folks know, what the commissioning agent does, just because some of the committee, may not know, and there's probably people at home that are watching, so.
Yeah, the commissioning agent will be evaluating and I want to make sure I get this right now. They'll be checking on the building envelope, the roofing systems, the HVAC systems, the electrical power systems. What else do we have? I think they might be doing the life safety systems as well, and definitely the building controls. What the commissioning agent will do, it's a separate consultant. They are hired by the MSBA. And what we really want to make sure is that at the end of this project, when you go to move in, your systems are working as they were designed and intended to work. So they will be they'll oversee review the documents. They will be setting up some checklists. They will be reviewing submittals and overseeing some of the construction, just to make sure that all your systems will operate as designed.
So basically, like I said earlier, it's a peer review. So the TAPE will hire a group to do the engineering for each one of those sub-trades, and then the commissioning agent is part of the MSBA, and they're just looking over their shoulder to make sure that everything is being done as everyone would expect. So
Yeah, we typically end up getting comments from them as we proceed with the design, and the same. We'll get comments from Vertex, after we submit for DT, and we get comments from the OPM, and then we go through, review them. Our consultants review them, respond back, and then we just basically make sure that everyone's on the same page. And if we have to add anything to the documents, we pick up their comments.
right. All right, great.
Rich?
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yep.
noticed that we got a payment from MSBA today.
That was from the previous. That was payment number 11.
Yeah.
That was for the previous, but we did, and I think Lori, we actually we were entered into the system because we get the documentation in for into the MSBA so we received the funding agreement back from them. So we did our paperwork, and that way we're in the system. So that's good news for the town. So
that is all I had for contract updates.
all right.
Rich?
See you.
Rich, can I ask a question?
Sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
I was checking the schedule from last time. I was checking on the CM at risk proposals. They're supposed to be in by the 10th. Did I read that right? Did we get them?
We got them in today.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay, so we're all on schedule for that.
They did, and I have an update for that.
Oh, okay.
Our
Thank you.
next item, actually.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Jim
Yeah.
stole your thunder.
That's okay. Yeah, we did delay it one day because it took a little bit of time for us to get the CM agreement and the general conditions worked out with town council. So we did delay.
I heard about that, actually.
Excuse me?
I heard about that, actually.
Yes. So we gave the CMs an extra day to pull their proposals together. We did receive 3 proposals today. I did want to let you know that Bond they decided to drop out of this process because their staff that they had originally submitted were no longer available for this project. And they are not of the opinion to do a bait and switch with any kind of staff. So they pulled out. So we received a proposal from Commodore, Fontaine, and WT Rich.
Right. And just to make everyone aware, tonight we're discussing items around those proposals. Al Volter works for Commodore. He will not be in part of any of those discussions, because he's already acknowledged that. He won't be involved in any of that, but he does work for Commodore. So we're working our way according to the rules, and we'll be making the decision without his input. So, what else? So that was that. Yeah, so we received those. We talked about the test pits, and then the work schedule and scope. So you guys have work going on the February break. If you could just run through what the plan is on that.
For the test pits?
Well, aren't you doing stuff inside the school also?
Matt, are you doing anything inside the school?
We're going to be coming out, maybe doing some field verification again. We have a walkthrough on the 17th with the building inspector and another one of their colleagues that does like MAAB compliance. So that's on the 17th. But again, I think it's going to be mostly us and consultants kind of coming out and field verifying anything that they need to look at prior to the DD estimate set going out.
All right. No, I couldn't remember. I thought at one point in time you guys said you might do some more additional asbestos testing, but that may not be something you decided to do at this time.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. I can check with the team, but I don't think there's anything happening.
Yeah, I said it. That's what I remember. So, all right. I think so. That was basically the update from you guys. Lorraine, was there anything that I missed?
No, the only thing is that the test pits, there was a little bit of a concern as to whether they're going to be able to break through the frost layer. But they are going to make that attempt. There's about 11 to 12 pits that are going to be dug. They're going to be about 8 to 10 feet deep. And I believe Nitch was going to be out early next week to mark the locations for DigSafe.
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, Nitch went out already this week and marked
Okay.
it, and they contacted DigSafe as well.
Great.
I think they were out there Monday or Tuesday this week. They were out.
Hey, Matt, so they were out Monday, it looks like, and they did throw some stakes around. So where those stakes are located, that's where we need to take the snow away, correct? Pretty much?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what they'll be digging the test pits, correct?
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and John, when you do it, they're going to obviously when they dig it out, they're going to have a spot to put, so you'll need to clear out around it too.
Yeah, that was my other, again, Matt, should I just touch base with you offline on this and just what the dimensions you need and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, you can reach out. Were you on the other emails that were going back and forth with Nitch and everybody else on it, or?
Yeah, nope. Where Dave said what he had the back,
Yeah.
he had the backhoe and all that kind of stuff.
10,000-pound excavator in the back.
Yeah. So just,
Yeah, if you want to just respond back to that, and then Nitch can
Absolutely.
chime, because they'll be giving you most of the answers. I don't want to give you any false information.
nope. All right, because I do have a couple other questions besides that, but great, thank you.
Okay.
Tell them to bring their hammer. There's about 3 feet of frost in the ground right now. We're finding that out.
Well, that's why I reached out to Jeff this morning. We had the same thing. I was down. We hit 3 feet, and I couldn't even get through it. So
Yeah.
So it's
So
not
they
just
may-
the Charles River that's frozen, huh?
exactly. Yeah.
Jeez.
All right. Well, with that being said, I think. Go ahead.
Can we at least see when John's digging holes, if he can get through the frost layer?
John doesn't have a big enough machine, so DPW is coming out with
Okay.
a big machine. They're going to dig a hole. If they can dig it, they'll dig it. If they can't, then everybody will pack their stuff up and they'll reschedule.
Yeah, just wait for warmer weather.
They're just trying to get it done earlier because it'll help on the design of the systems and everything.
Yeah, the
So,
infiltration design.
right. So, and the good news is the DPW is doing it. So if
Rich, can I ask a question
go ahead, please.
about the permits? Like building permits, electrical permits and all that. Is the town going to waive their portion of this so that it doesn't charge the project, or?
It was my understanding that they would waive they're going to waive the fees for the project. The thing we may have to do on when they did the Clyde Brown is because the school is so big, they hired a separate sub-consultant for the inspections on the school because it was just more than, the building inspector could handle. So that would be something we'd have to pay for. And I think we have to pay the school, the project will have to pay the inspection fees because that, the permit fees are waived. However, basically the inspectors that's their job. And so we can't take that, they need to get
Right.
paid. for it.
Yeah, that's the way we did the last one.
Yeah, that was voted.
I just want to make sure that we've got that okay
It-
from the select board.
We
It
did.
had been voted. We gave all nonprofits that are doing projects special breaks, but especially town projects. So, yeah.
So just so the citizens know, we're not paying ourselves for this.
Yeah.
Better than suing ourselves. Like some towns.
All right. So I think with that being said, I think we're all set with Vertex and TAPay, unless you want to watch us pay bills.
No, I think we're
I'm
good.
happy.
No?
I'm happy to say goodnight to everybody.
All right, good.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you, guys.
And,
Thanks
Take
all.
it easy. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right. Next item on the agenda would be to review and approve the meeting minutes. So
Do you
I
want
make a
to,
motion.
do you want to pay bills first or you want to do minutes? That's fine.
Well, I'm reading the agenda. I'm following my instructions, Ken. Okay.
I
So
don't even have the agenda, so you're one step ahead of me.
I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes of Wednesday, January 21st as written.
Second.
All right,
Second.
motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, passed unanimously. Next item would be review and approved invoices.
All right, so this is Vertex.
Vertex, yep. So I make a motion that we approve the bill for Vertex for professional services for the month of January in the amount of $31,747.56.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to abstain from the votes tonight, just since I wasn't a member last meeting.
Nope,
just
great.
to
Well, thank you very
Get
much.
up to
So that-
speed. Yeah.
When one abstain, yes. Okay, great. No, good point. Thank you.
Yep.
Next item would be a bill from Tappy Architects for the professional services for the month of January for the amount of $339,937.50.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passed unanimously with one abstained. All right. I think that was it. So that was a pretty efficient meeting. So was there anything else?
Beginning.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Well,
we had ice dams that flooded the study, and I took my computer apart, and it dawned on me at 7:30 I don't have a computer. So I did the fastest install I've ever done in my life. I apologize.
Good. All right. Did anyone have anything else, or is everybody all set? All right. Well, with that being said, I make a motion to adjourn.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Good night, everybody. Thanks again.
Aye. Thank you.